Hello and welcome to Shooting the Bull, the night of nights. It is November 8th. It is election time. That's right. The polls have been open and people have been voting all day long, exercising that democracy. And tonight we will know who the president is. And I am, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I am really scared. Yeah. I'm joined here with Ariana and Ross. Guys,
and you are?
Hello.
Justin, of course.
You didn't say.
I didn't say?
No.
They don't care who I am. They just listen to the voice.
Maybe you did. I don't know. I thought you did.
Oh, yeah.
They listen for Ross and I.
I'm the star.
You're just kind of here.
Oh, no. This is my show.
That's your namesake.
That's right. I have been nervous. By the way.
All these Trumps are just looking at me.
We've got three.
He wants to grab me.
We've got three Trump heads with us right now. That's right. Trump heads. My sister bought us these foamy, squishy Donald Trump heads.
To squeeze
the
for all those all the nail biting moments.
Squeeze.
Why you act dumb like duh?
Duh. So we've been messing around with these Trump heads. That's cool. I'm gonna leave Trump right over there. I'm gonna leave his head right over there. Look, creepy actually. Yeah, but anyway, I will be honest. I am nervous. Here's the thing. I feel kind of, for the first time in my life, I feel stupid.
Because everyone's going back and forth.
This is the first time.
This is the first time.
Oh.
Because I swore up and down, and I actually boasted and bragged about how this was going to be a landslide.
Oh, I didn't think it was ever going to be a landslide.
I thought it
should be.
It should be. I was telling her in the car. I was telling her on the way over here. I was saying, I think what's more sad about this is that this should be a landslide, and the fact that it's so close is a little alarming.
Mm-hmm.
That our nation is that divided amongst ourselves. It's just not a good thing. Tell me, is it appropriate for me to be this scared? I mean, how are y'all feeling? How's everybody feeling? Let's go around the room.
I'm feeling terrible.
I know, you've been acting strange all
I've
day.
had to use my inhaler so many times today because my lungs are just like, we can't breathe. It's the end of the world.
Ross, how do you feel?
I don't feel super good about it, but I'm not like sitting here fretting everything. I'm hoping for the best.
Me too.
Let me here.
No.
Give me that. You have a show to do.
I'm sorry.
Put the face away.
You gave a puppeteer a puppet.
That's the face of the enemy. Put it away.
But we've been not us, but us too, but everybody pretty much has been discounting him every step of the way. It's like there's no way he'll actually run. He runs. There's no way he'll get far after the first debate. He gets all. There's no way he'll get the nomination. Gets the nomination. It's like he's proved everybody wrong over and over and over again. So his last great trick could be proving everyone wrong.
Yeah, and winning the whole thing.
Yeah, so I definitely don't feel super comfortable. But at the same time, I'm not ready. I'm not like sounding the alarm just yet.
Right.
She's still got a decent lead.
Well,
he could definitely make ground quickly.
Here in our state of North Carolina,
that's making me really uncomfortable.
That's really uncomfortable because. From what my life is in this state, if I had to tell you how this state would go, just based on the people I know and interact with on a daily basis, it would be a Republican state.
Yeah. I've seen everyone posting on Facebook about how it's like, I just went and voted. I didn't vote for the bitch, or I didn't vote for blah, blah, blah. And then the people that were voting, they're like, well, I didn't vote for either. I voted for Jill Stein.
There's the problem.
Gary Johnson.
That's Trump right there.
That's voting for Trump. Yeah. And, and that's what really pisses me. Those college-age millennials who went out and voted for Stein or Johnson because that's just what they felt like they needed to do. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much casting your ballot for Trump. So if you hated Trump, honestly, the only thing you had to do was go and vote Clinton. Yeah. And then, so what? If you don't like Clinton, if Trump feels worse to you, then your decision is easy.
Yeah. Well, and also Johnson actually matches up with Trump a lot in policy.
And here's the thing that drove me crazy. All the Bernie bros out there who are like, I'm not voting for Clinton because he didn't get a fair shake. Yeah. She adopted 2/3 of his platform.
Yeah. He's made it clear
and he supports her.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing I was telling someone that told me they were going to vote for Jill Stein. I was like, well, why are you voting for Jill Stein? Because she supports Bernie. I said, Bernie supports Hillary. And that instantly changed their vote.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Because they just don't know that. Because they don't keep up with the news. And they just listen to what everyone else tells them.
Yeah, well, the news has not been doing a very sufficient job, I think.
Right.
The amount of stuff they just let slide is insane to me.
Damn.
Well,
Because they've hammered Trump for all of his personal indiscretions, which, without a doubt, fair game. He's a disgusting person, but
they didn't spend enough time on the issue.
Exactly, they've let slide what he actually thinks. Partly, probably because he hasn't really said what he thinks for the most part.
That's true. He doesn't have a whole lot of substance.
But there's so many hypocrisies in a Trump supporter that they have not mentioned.
Right.
That drives me crazy, I think. Coming down on Hillary for the emails and not talking about how he has been doing similar stuff, not talking about how Bush lost 2 million emails that he had on a private server when he was president, run by the RNC. I mean, honestly, they're not saying this. So you hear all these people supporting him and they're going, well, it's just unacceptable what she's been doing. And it's like, it's tame what she's been doing compared to the opposition.
Yeah.
But they don't know that because they're not smart enough, they're not informed enough, and the media isn't doing their job.
No, like you said, they harped on his personal faults because that, to viewers who just sit there and numb out in front of the TV, that is more exciting.
Yeah.
They like to hear all the controversial stuff. Yeah. News has gotten to the point where we're more excited about the controversial stuff.
Yeah, it's all sensational.
Yeah, it's just the sensation of what he says, which to some degree has been his biggest weapon. He's used the shock jock thing of like why we tune into shock jocks on the radio. We just can't wait to hear what they say next, so we wind up listening to them. We wind up liking the show.
That's why people watch fail videos. They just want to be entertained by something really stupid.
And, well, there's 40% of the country has been entertained by something very stupid.
Politics should not be entertaining.
No. It's business. It's serious business.
And I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I've been entertained.
I have.
Yeah.
But
I have had fun doing this show during this political season has been a ton of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And it has been fun to make the jokes and come up with all the little laughs that we've had doing this show for 17 weeks now.
Is that it?
Yeah, for 17 weeks now. It's been fun, but at the same time, it's also very serious business we're talking about here.
Because Lineker was so nervous that he's already sued someone in Nevada.
It got thrown out.
It got thrown out, though. I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, it got thrown out. I've got a story for you guys.
Go for it.
So, I voted Friday.
Okay.
Early voting. And man, this is going to take some time.
We've got a show.
So, Audra and I go together. And we drive up, it's around, I think 6 maybe. And there's this big, fat, small, obnoxious guy who's doing all of the parking and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Probably.
Yeah.
And we drive up and, it's like, okay, tell us where to park, tell us how long it'll be. And he has an attitude from the second we show up. He's like, well, you're just gonna have to follow this and park down there. You're looking at like a 90 to 100 minute wait. I guess that's what you get for being late. I guess that's what happens to the procrastinators. You guys are here on Procrastinator Friday, and tomorrow's called Crazy Saturday. It's like, first of all, coming up with these little cute names. Really?
Did you learn that from Trump?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so
so petty.
So I'm thinking to myself, fuck this guy. Almost immediately. Fuck
What
this
is
guy.
it with you and Audra running into these assholes?
I know, it happens a lot. And so, and I wanted to point out the irony of procrastinator when we did early voting. It's early voting, you dumbass.
It's like a dude that called me a slut for wanting to be in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, So he's saying all kinds of stupid shit, and Audra just drives away while he's talking.
Good.
She's just
done with it.
Yeah, he starts talking, she just drives.
She's really funny. I don't like that.
Yeah. So we get in line, and it took us about like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so we get in line, and there is a black woman in front of us with like a 14-year-old daughter. And we're waiting, and she says, I need to go do something. I'm going to go see if I can leave, and if I'm be allowed to come back. Is it okay if when I come back I can have this spot again? So we're like, sure, it doesn't matter to us. It's just one person. She was here first. So she goes, and then she comes back and she says, no, I talked to that big guy, and he said that I can't do that. If I leave, then I can't vote. So we're like, all right. So
the same big guy.
Yeah. So she's there, her daughter is gone, and it's getting colder. So she's like, I'm going to go get my coat. Is it okay if I can come back here? Yeah, of course. She goes, gets her coat, comes back. Everything's fine. We wait about another like half hour. This guy just he's walking back and forth.
Oh.
He walks and stops right in front of her, and he goes, "Were you here at 7 o'clock? 7 o'clock's the cutoff."
Yeah.
She's like, "Were you here at 7 o'clock?" She goes, "Yeah." She was on the phone, and she's saying yes. And then I heard her talking to someone on the phone, and she was like, "Yeah, this guy's asking me whether or not I've been here or not."
Mm-hmm.
And she thought he was joking because she went to talk to him. So she thought he came up and was kind of like, "Oh, were you here?" Joking.
And what were you doing?
Yeah. And so she kind of isn't taking it seriously. And then he's like, "No, were you here at 7 o'clock?" And she was like, "Yeah, I talked to you." And he looks at me. And he goes, "Was she here at 7 o'clock or did she come here after 7 o'clock?"
Dick.
And I'm like, "She was here at 7 o'clock. First of all, I'm thinking, why the fuck are you asking me?
Mm-hmm.
She just answered your question.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. So he asks me. So I go, "Yeah." And then she goes, "Oh, well, when I talked to you before, I didn't have my jacket on. So maybe because I'm wearing a jacket, you not recognize me." He goes, "Oh, so you went to go get your jacket, did you?"
Oh,
and she goes, "What?" And he goes, "So you left line to go get your jacket after 7. And she was like, "No." And he was like, "Oh, so your jacket just magically came from your car and came to you."
Oh my god.
And she's getting like,
who the fuck is this dick?
yeah, so she's getting flustered and she's getting like nervous.
I would have stepped in and been like, "Dude, chill."
That's why I stepped in and I said, "No, her daughter went and got her his jacket." I was like,
Yeah.
"That's what you're not understanding." And he goes, "Oh, okay," and walks away. And I'm thinking, fuck this guy. I usually like to stay out of this kind of stuff. But I already hated this guy from
Because
the
that's
get-go.
almost seeming like voter suppression.
Well, that's exactly
That's
what's going
exactly
on.
what I thought.
That's exactly what's going on. So in front of her, there's a black woman with like a little 5-year-old son. And this little kid is waiting here for like 2 hours. He's doing very well.
Yeah.
You know, he's a child. And he's grabbing like grass and kind of just like throwing it in the air, kind of like messing around.
He's a kid.
Well,
He's
yeah.
5.
So he grabs I guess he grabs a clump of grass and it has like a bit of dirt stuck to it.
Yeah.
He throws it up. It hits like campaign sign. Those little things they put on the side of the road. It hits that. It goes like dunk. That guy immediately turns his head.
No.
She looks to her son. She says, "Stop doing that." And he comes over to her. He comes over and goes, "Did your son just throw something?" And she's like, "What?" And he was like, "I heard something. Was that your son? Did your son just throw something at a sign?" And she was like, "Oh, he was just playing with the grass." And he was like, "That wasn't grass. Did your son just pick up a rock and throw it at a sign?" And she was like, "No, it was dirt." And he was like, "Okay, so you're just letting your son pick things up and throw it. That's what you're just going to allow."
Oh my
Who
god.
the fuck is this man?
Did you report this guy?
So she goes, "I got on my son for what he did." Basically saying, "Don't tell me how to raise my
damn child.
Yeah. So then he goes, "Well, I'm just asking." And she goes, "Well, I'm just answering."
Ooh.
And he stops and looks at her like as if to say, like, "How the fuck dare you?
Uh-huh.
How dare a black woman talk back to
Oh,
me?"
hell no.
So he can't do anything. So he walks away. And we're all like, what the fuck is going on? I turn to Audrey and I go, "Do you notice something particular about the people he seems to have problems with?
Yeah.
Do you notice there's something in common with all these people he's picking on? It's something that I don't have in common with them." He came to me to ask to see if I would
Verify.
verify something.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking, yeah,
Yeah.
there's something going on.
That sounds like voter suppression.
Without a doubt, it was voter suppression. And so this woman, she said that she was going to get his name. I don't know if she did.
I would have reported. I would have gone into the poll. I would have been like, "There's a guy out there who is heckling voters.
Yeah.
Would you please do something with him?
And
you can't miss him. He's the big fat fucking idiot."
Yeah. And it's like, you know, you hear all these dumbass conservatives going on and on about like, "Oh, there's voter fraud."
Voter fraud.
It doesn't exist.
No.
Actually, there's been 3 cases already today of voter fraud, all Trump supporters.
Well, but even that, it's not a problem. There's no way there's no way it could ever sway an election.
Right.
And so the real issue is voter suppression. And all the conservatives are, "Oh, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen." I saw it happen twice with one guy.
There was a trail in Florida of 13 plus trucks that had Confederate rebel flags driving around one of the buildings.
It's ridiculous.
They were doing it nonstop today.
Just to scare off people.
Mm-hmm. Also, whenever I went to go vote, the people that hand out the practice ballots.
Yeah.
So we got the Democrat one, then the conservative guy came over. I said, "No, thank you." But then the what was it? Veterans
veteran
guy
guy,
came over. He's like, "Well," I said, "Oh, thanks but no thanks. He's like, well, enjoy your abortion ballot.
Yeah.
Like trying to make me feel bad for having a uterus.
Right.
Assuming that I've had an abortion.
Right.
My
That's
experience
ridiculous.
voting was like stupid easy.
Well, here's the
Everyone was like really cool. I showed up. The lady in front of me actually worked at the government agency I work
Yeah.
at, so we chit chatted about stuff. And then we walked in there. Everyone was real nice.
But you voted in Fuquay, right?
I did. I voted over at Falcon Park. where
Sanford has a lot of minorities, so it was a sea of blue.
Oh,
a lot of Democratic papers.
This was a sea of like old white women. Actually, there was a lot of white women there, old white, but they were all voting for Clinton.
well,
A lot of them were voting for Clinton, but there was
yeah,
only
because they're women.
there was only one. There was only one person there handing out the Democratic ballot. That was the only one they were handing out.
Yeah.
There was no conservative there doing it. The only thing was there was this guy behind me. When I took the Democratic ballot, I took it and I was looking at it and I turned around and behind me I see this guy who is like 3 feet taller than me. I'm already 6 feet tall, so usually I'm taller than most
Yeah,
people
yeah.
I meet. But this guy was 3 feet taller than me. He had his arms crossed like this around his breast. He was wearing a green army jacket with a Punisher patch on it in Oakley's, and he was just staring me down. And I turned around, I'm like, hello there, sir. And I'm like looking up, and I'm like,
Afternoon?
afternoon to you. And I wanted to. Who are you voting for?
well, there was.
Would you
Jill
like
Stein.
Gerald Stein?
the people handing out the little thing? There was like this old. There was 3 old women, and the first one was like, "Would you like some Republican literature?" And Audrey was like, "No." And then the next one was like, "Would you like some Democrat?" And she was like, "Sure." And then like everyone just kept saying yeah to that and no to the other. And Audrey was like, "I feel kind of bad for that first old lady."
Keeps getting rejected.
I was like, "I don't feel bad for her."
Oh yeah.
She
Fuck that old bitch.
But I was like, she didn't. It's not like she was forced to do this.
Yeah.
She believes in something. And,
She volunteered for what
no
she
one else
believed
does.
in. Yeah. She's just going around handing out.
So I didn't feel bad for her.
No balance.
But interesting thing, right? Andrea got one of the little pamphlets that has all the judges on
Yeah.
it. So we finally, after 2 hours, get into there and we're voting, and it's the whole ballot. I don't know if it's different for with what you guys.
The whole
but-
back of the ballot was judges. Really.
Yeah, and so, but it went from like top to bottom. It was like Republican, Democrat, third party.
Oh, on the back page, it didn't have that.
It didn't have that. There was a few spots where they had no party affiliation.
Yes.
In the spots where they had no party affiliation, they switched it. It went Democrat, Republican.
Ooh.
Because they're trying to switch
they're
it. That's
trying to
why
switch it.
That's why you get the sample ballot.
Yeah,
Because
I
you
mean-
go in there. Because I noticed that too. I
Yeah.
noticed on the back it was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah,
I didn't vote for any of the judges.
For all of the...
A lot of people did.
I don't know who they are. I'm not voting for them.
I voted for them, and I guess I got lucky because I remember I just went with what names I liked better.
There was a lot
If
of
ever
people.
there was-
I've done that before.
Yeah, if ever there was like a woman, I always went for the woman.
Oh, me too.
And then
Me
if
too.
ever there was 2 guys, I just went for whatever name I don't have a bad association with.
Yeah, no, I do that too. If there's ever someone I don't know, if there's a woman running, I always vote for the woman.
Yeah.
I do. That is a funny thing.
And then I
Because
remember
women get shit done.
one also in like the primaries when there was 2 men, but one of them had like a Jewish sounding name. I just went for the Jewish sounding name. And there was one for the treasurer, and I was like,
So
well,
I
of course
should
I'm
just-
going with that one.
I should just go back for my other name, which is Katz.
Yeah.
If I ever run for office, I should just be Ariana Katz.
Yeah.
People will just vote for me automatically. Like, Jewish woman? Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I always try to go for
there was a lot of
what
people on
seems
the
like
ballot
a-
also who were running uncontested.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do we even have to bubble that in?
I do.
That's what I would be like. Come on, man.
I do because, I'm probably completely wrong, but I always worry that if you don't fill it out completely, then the whole thing gets void because they say like you have to do this clearly.
Oh, no, it
So-
goes by each box.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you don't, it's not.
Yeah.
Because my
You
dad,
cancel anything.
he messed up on one of the bubbles that was on the back, and he didn't
Yeah.
really care about it. And he's like, I accidentally filled in this one, crossed it out, and filled in this
Oh,
one.
they allow that.
And they were like, well, I mean, it's not going to count towards either of them, but the rest of your ballot is fine. He's like,
Right,
oh,
right.
fuck it, I'll just put this
yeah.
in.
when I finally got there, I had a couple issues. The little spot where you have to like vote, the little
Oh, yeah, the little
like
desk.
cubicle thing.
Yeah.
It was too like narrow for me, and I'm not like that big of a guy. But like I got in there and I was like, I'm like having like.
Gotta elbow your way.
I was like stepping back and like going in from a different angle to do it.
It was too low for me.
So mine wasn't low, but it was just so narrow. I was like, damn, I
I
can't.
felt like I was having to like
Yeah.
lean over the thing and
Yeah.
all kinds of-
I was the only place that was open for me was one that was in the middle of one of the handicap sections. And they're like, well, just go ahead and go. There's no one handicapped here. I was like, okay. So I go and I look, and it's two very, very large men. Very, very large. So I had to just suck it in and just,
Well, when I got there, the pen didn't work. So I was trying to find one of the people there. I was like, my pen doesn't work. I was like, Jesus Christ.
How many more things can happen?
I was like, this is almost like on purpose. Like this is McCrory. Like, okay, make sure all the Democratic places have bad pens.
Yeah. Mom, I went to go vote with Mom, and she was funny through the whole thing because she kept wanting to talk politics in the line.
Oh, don't do that.
And she kept
That's what my dad did.
Yeah, she kept wanting to say stuff about like Trump being stupid, and I'm like, although I completely agree with you, and I have a show about that.
This is not the time nor place.
I don't want to, because I kept looking behind me at the big guy with the Oakleys and the Punisher shirt, and I'm like, there was even one time I was like, Mom, now's not a good time.
Well, she's well within her right to do that.
She is, but I worry about Trump supporters.
That's the problem. Is she should be able to do that, and you should be able to do it without worrying about it, but you can't now. And that's one of the interesting things was when the place I voted for had a section where it was like, this is the anti-campaigning like zone. You cannot campaign if you're for one or the other. You can't.
We had that too. Yeah, once you cross the line.
Yeah, to avoid any kind of like intimidation. And I was thinking, I said, Doctor, I was like, this asshole over here. Like, who would have thought that guy would be the one? Mm-hmm. I was like, Trump's poll watchers are starting to look better now.
Yeah, because
this like official, quote unquote, official guy is doing it worse than any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that. I cannot believe your story.
I wanted to knock him out.
You should have.
Like
I just want to know.
I know you probably would have been kicked out.
It pissed me off so much.
I mean, what sucks is how long was this the only day? Excuse me, that this guy volunteered, or was
no? Because my mom went days earlier, and she was telling me that a Asian guy parked in the wrong spot, and when he got out of the car, that she told me, because I explained what it, and she was like, that big guy sounds like exactly like the big guy that did something when I was there. So he apparently came running at the guy and started screaming at him, saying, you can't park here, get out of here. And he got the guy so flustered that when the guy tried to back out and go, he went the wrong way, and then the dude jumped in front and started screaming at him for going the wrong way. And had him he just made this little poor Asian guy so flustered. Oh. So honestly, it's like anybody that doesn't look like a Trump supporter, he was treating like shit.
I would have just cussed him out in a different language so he'd have no idea what I was.
Where did you vote at?
A church. Go figure.
Oh my gosh.
In Morrisville.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, my voting experience was like stupid cool.
I
mean, it was like really easy.
That was mine 4 years ago with Obama. I just literally was waltzed in. I was like, "What's up?"
I've never had a bad. This is my third presidential election I voted in, and every time I've ever done it, it's always been real cool. Yeah. I don't know what it is about that place in Fuquay, but that's my favorite place to vote.
Well, it's without a doubt, it's Trump. He is endorsing this behavior.
Right.
He's encouraging it
because he's been getting away with it.
Yeah.
Actually, the DOJ actually sent people down to watch the polls here in Wake County.
Really?
Yeah, because they were worried about exit polling and what Trump had said. Because Trump was saying, "You watch, be sure to watch," which is illegal, actually.
Yeah.
You can't poll watch; that is illegal. But they call it exit polling, which is technically legal. So now a lot of these poll watchers are doing this thing called exit polling, but. Anyway, the DOJ was worried about voter suppression in 3 counties here in North Carolina. So they sent troops down. And they were actually, this was one of the best pivots I've ever heard in my life. But they were talking to a Republican, one of the Republican guys about this. I forget who exactly, so forgive me. But it was a Republican. Yeah. And they were asking him what he thought about the DOJ volunteering to send people down to watch to make sure that all votes, no one messes with them. And he said, "Oh, I totally welcome it. We always have problems with the Black Panthers." And I was like, what a pivot. I was like, that was probably one of the best nailed pivots I've ever heard in my life.
Because Wake County, New Hanover, and one in the mountains that starts with a W and has a lot of A's in it are the main 3 counties in North Carolina.
Yeah.
For votes.
Well, I'm calling bullshit on that, first of all.
Yeah.
The whole Black Panther thing.
Yeah.
The only account of that happening that anyone's seen was back in 2008, and there was 2 Black Panther who were like standing, I think it was like New York or somewhere, and they were just standing outside of a polling place looking somewhat like aggressive.
Somewhat aggressive.
But they weren't doing anything. they were just scaring people, I guess.
How's the map looking now?
Well, I was just trying to pull that up here. Let me see. Oh, my phone. So stupid.
Oh my gosh, your phone is ridiculous. But man, we did filming this weekend. Side note, as we're waiting for this.
Yeah.
And that was some of the smoothest filming we've ever done.
That was. We got everything that we wanted to accomplish.
Do I need to type it in?
Yeah.
Are you having trouble?
I'm having a lot.
Well, I can tell, if you want, while we wait, I can tell you a more somewhat funny story from the same incident.
Sure.
So,
Trump 19, Hillary 3 at the moment. Florida right now, Trump is in the lead. Your phone just restarted?
Oh, it died.
Oh, okay.
It's dead.
well, that's not a good omen.
No.
The only one that's solid Hillary right now is Vermont.
Well, yeah. Those states. I'm telling you, it's going to be a long night, and they said it's going to be a long night. But they said that it would probably be around 11:30 when everybody knew what was. I plan on staying up and watching the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
if you guys want to stay and do it too, I could use the support, shoulder to cry on. But I plan on staying and watching at least the majority of it. If North Carolina goes blue, then I'm going to bed.
Yeah,
because at that point,
North Carolina's probably going to be the last one to come in. That's what happened in 2008.
Yeah.
Or was it 2008 or 12 or both? I know specifically 2008.
I think it
was the
happened again.
last. It was the last state to get counted.
Yeah,
it was like a day late too.
You were telling me 49% of the state early voted.
Yeah, 49% of the state early voted.
That is crazy.
And it was tied with the popular vote. North Carolina was tied, which is very surprising because it's normally a Republican.
Well, actually, we usually are blue. Last year we went red.
Last year was red.
Yeah. But before that, years past, we've always had Democratic governors until Pat McCrory.
Yeah,
we had a string of Democrats.
I was going to say, Pat McCrory, Jesus Christ. Could he have done a worse job?
Do you think he'll win tonight?
I hope not. He sucks.
You think Roy Cooper's going to take it?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Like, here's the thing. And I told this to Andrea. I was like, Is Roy Cooper going to be like the best governor in the world? Probably not. Is Hillary Clinton going to be the best president? Probably not.
No.
But this is not me voting for what I think is going to improve everything. This is like strictly me trying to stop this monster from getting power.
A Molotov cocktail aimed right at Washington. They're trying to stop this.
That's all this is.
Because I agree. Let me tell you something. I completely agree with Trump supporters when they say that they want the establishment in Washington shook to its foundation.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Sure. I just need someone intelligent.
Yeah, I just need someone else to do it. I need someone who I feel like can go and shake it up and then say, but I can rebuild it.
Yeah.
And here's how I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Well, and also,
I don't know what he plans. I feel like he's just going to get in there, destroy it, and then leave it destroyed.
Well, it's
Bernie Sanders to me was a guy who I believed he can go in there, he can shake things up, and he gave me confidence to think that he can shake this establishment thing up, flip the script, but also keep things cool.
Yeah, because
we can keep things cool. But Trump, he's not the man they're looking for. I swear to you, he's not the guy they're looking for.
No.
I mean, I understand. I can feel the passion in what there's a side of this country that has been left behind by everything. They've been told they're a stupid silent majority.
Right.
They have been told all this for years, and they are pissed off, and they're working people who have gotten nowhere. The American dream's left them far behind to go overseas to another country.
Yeah.
I understand where this passion is coming from, but he's not your guy.
No, but there's that which I could say is valid, but there's a whole other side to it that is so not valid, where it's they've hated Obama, they've hated Clinton, they've wanted to say all these horrible things about them, they want to talk about how much they hate Bill Clinton and all these women, they want to call Hillary a cunt, they want to say something to Obama that they can't, I'm punching
Trump in the face.
And they want to say this, and they've never been allowed to say it, and now here's a guy who's saying all that
so now
stuff.
they get to be like,
and so they like that,
they live vicariously through him.
They like that he's doing and saying all these horrible things that they've always wanted to say. And this is the problem with the GOP, is the GOP created this because he's voicing a lot of things that they felt.
Right.
But he's just going, it's like they've created this monster, but they've lost complete control of him. And now he's going to kill them too, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of what's happened.
They just like the story Frankenstein. They went out, they got all the parts and pieces, they put it together. They gave it life, and now they wish they could kill it.
Yeah,
and it all ends in a burning windmill at the end with them locked inside.
So that's how the movie's end.
Yeah.
Not the book. The book has a super sad ending.
I don't know the ending. I don't know the ending in the book. How's it end?
Well, he basically goes about killing all of Victor's family and friends because he wants him to feel as alone as he did. And he ends up, Victor gets to a point where he's running from it because he's terrified of him. He gets to a point where he's like, no, I'm going to have to try and like fight this thing and kill this thing. And it's been a few years, so I don't know all the details, but I know they're on like a ship where they are fighting, and they get off on some land, and it's like all snowy and stuff. And the monster, I think, kills Frankenstein, and he's like lying on does he? I'm not sure if he kills him or if Frankenstein dies just from like exposure of like malnourished because he's not eating. It's just all focused on us. And he just dies alone, and then the monster now has nothing because his whole life was about revenge, and he ruined everything, and then this guy died, and now he has even less relevance to this world than he did before, and he just runs off.
That's pretty good.
It's a really good ending.
It's a better ending than the movie.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, the movie was cool, but...
Well, isn't the movie, like, Victor's like an old gross man, isn't he?
No.
He's not?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he's a skinny little lanky dude.
Yeah, well, that's what he is in the book. That's one of the things I liked about the book was they portrayed him as being really, really naive.
Yeah.
He wanted to make a name for himself and bring something back to life, and he had no idea what he was getting himself into. Mm-hmm. And then he ends up doing this horrible thing. Back to Trump.
I want to run something by you guys. So this election thing has split up relationships, friendships. People have gotten very passionate about their choices. Yeah. I mean, because that's what people feel, and people are passionate about what they feel. That's a natural thing. Yeah. But I have a friend who called me to boast a couple of weeks ago about when the email thing came out.
Right.
I said something nasty at the end, but I felt like
a nasty woman.
Because you're a nasty woman.
What a nasty woman. I pretty much I told her to leave me alone. Yeah. In other words, but I hung up the phone because I just didn't want to hear about it. Yeah. I was already
did your best Trump impression.
Right. I did.
And told them to go fuck themselves.
That's what I did. I said, fuck off, and I hung up the phone.
Well, if they don't like it, then they don't like Trump.
Well,
she called me on a day I was already nervous.
Yeah.
And she answered, and I knew what she was calling me for.
Yeah, they were just instigating a fight.
And so she answered the phone, and she goes, "So did you see what happened?" And I just wasn't in the mood. And
it's kind of a fucked up thing to do.
I just wasn't in the mood.
If you want to,
I called her. I told her that she was an idiot because she was voting this way. I just said I said verbatim, you are a fucking moron.
You know what you should have done? Whenever they found her completely innocent, you should have just called her back that day.
See, no, I'm not that kind.
And be like, just see what happened.
No, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not gonna do that. I didn't call anybody. I didn't even post on anywhere about it happening.
That's what makes you a Democrat.
I just didn't do it. I did not do it. But here's the thing: is now I still haven't talked to her. This is a friend of mine that I've had for 10 years.
You got a black Sharpie? I want to color in his eyes. Make him the demon he is.
I do have a black Sharpie somewhere, probably downstairs. But no. But I need here's what I want to ask. Okay, when is it appropriate to call this person again?
Whatever.
I mean, because like I can't do it. If Clinton wins, I can't do it anytime this week because I don't want to do that. But if Trump wins, I may never be able to call her again.
Wow. I feel like it'd be easier if he won because you could call and be like, all right, you know what? Because here's the thing, right? I don't like Trump. I don't want Trump at all. But if Trump gets there, I hope that he makes things better. I don't. Well,
that's his job now, right?
Yeah, but
we have to trust that he can do it.
But the Obama didn't get that. half the country would have much rather seen the country fail than have Obama fix it, which is exactly why he wasn't able to fix it very well.
That is a difference between us, is that, like, I was telling someone this the other day. Well, if Trump wins, then we have to hope that he can do it.
Yeah.
It's not like, I don't want him to fail.
No.
If he gets the job, I don't want him to fail, because if he fails, we fail.
But if he wants to do some fucked up shit, he needs to be stopped.
He does.
Yeah.
He's
I mean, that's
filled
just
with the blood of his enemies. I'm gonna get my mustache.
He's like one of those frogs that like squirts blood out of their eyes to attack. You know?
That's his defense right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, she was a close friend, and it's tore because I haven't spoken to her since, because I don't feel like I should call her.
Because she's the one who instigated it.
Yes.
She should call and say, I'm sorry.
But she's not going to.
Because she made you mad. It wasn't the other way around.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But she's not going. You know her.
Yeah,
you know her.
I know
she's not going to. But
Did she listen to the show?
Don't think so. No.
This could be like
she couldn't listen to anything. She doesn't even hardly care about anything I do.
God.
But
I made him so frigid.
have you got out of this conversation?
Yeah, I've already heard the story.
No, but here's the thing: is that, like, I can't, like if tomorrow and the rest of the week, if Clinton wins, I would not be able to call her, because, I mean,
because she'd be like, oh, he's calling to do what I did to him.
Yeah.
But the fact that
I wouldn't. Like, if I called her, I wouldn't even bring it up.
Yeah.
I would only feel safer calling her, because even if she tried to be to bring up anything, I could then say, well, it's over and we won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I would never call her to be like, so did you see what happened?
You know what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but yeah, like we said, though, that's the difference between.
Have you guys had any problems with friends and people?
I'm looking at the ballots.
No.
Have you guys had any problems with that?
No, because I keep good company.
Yeah, my friends aren't like, hey, you got to do this, or else you're blah blah blah. No, if my friends are Republican, they're just like, we keep it off topic.
Yeah. Well, and.
Well,
I wouldn't want to.
My friend, the Republicans, is like me. She's very into politics.
Yeah.
And she
I don't see how you could be and vote for him.
She told me, though, that she votes Republican because she likes facts.
Which is absurd.
That is absurd.
I mean, it's not even worth arguing about.
I don't even know
That's
why.
ridiculous.
I don't even know why she uses that as an argument. That cracks me up every time she says it, that she's a Republican because she wants to be the party of facts. And I always just go,
ridiculous.
Sweetie.
That's
Sweetie.
That's so stupid.
It cracks me up every time she says because, I mean, and I've told her before, like, that's not right, but she'll get really she'll argue it, but at the same, you just have to there comes a point where you just have to go, poor thing, just let her. I mean, you don't want to crush her dreams.
You don't, but you also don't want to, like, condescend to people.
Oh yeah.
So I guess that's why, like, it's a delicate act that you're having to do, because you want to.
I don't
still
want
be friends.
Yeah, I want to still be friends with her, but
you can't respect those ridiculous concepts.
I can't respect that. Yeah, you're right. No. When she says something like that, I know it's a blatant lie,
and it's hard to not come across as condescending when you're talking to someone who is.
Well, you don't want to seem
espousing nonsense.
Well, you don't want to seem like the intellectual know-it-all who reads this stuff constantly, and you don't want to sound like you're smarter than you. Never want to sound like you're smarter than your audience.
No,
and so you know what I mean, like.
It's not an attractive quality.
It's not an attractive quality.
But being a fucking idiot isn't an attractive quality.
No, it's not. It's also not an attractive quality. How's it looking, Ariana? Going over to our...
I think this is bad for our health.
Oh, God. I'm going to lose so much hair tonight. I just keep, like, feeling my hair falling out. I'm like, Jesus.
She's going to join me pretty soon.
See, that's why I'm just going to wait until it's, like, really taking form.
How are we looking, Ari?
They're okay. Let's see. Clinton 3, Trump 19.
And where?
Oh God, where'd that map go?
Is that total?
Well, this is the problem though. Is this whole thing is going to come down to like 4 states? So everything in between is just not even really worth getting worked up about.
Well, popular vote, it's gotten more reasonable-ish. Because whenever I first checked it, it was 80% Trump. But right now it's 52 Trump, Hillary 45%. And not all of the counties have been accounted for Florida. Florida just changed to a blue-ish. Oh my God. Holy shit.
Big. That's big.
That's better because just
Florida,
30 seconds ago. 30 seconds ago, it was 48 Florida, 49 for Trump.
Yeah, if Florida goes blue, that's a big blow.
Oh my God.
That's a hit to the cock.
But see, this is why I'm saying we shouldn't be doing this because we're going to go up and down, and it's not good for our souls.
I grabbed my little Trump head and just started squeezing.
When I was talking earlier, I was punching Trump. Obviously, people couldn't see that. I think I damaged one of his eyes. He's got like a lazy eye now because I punched him so hard.
Would you like mine?
No, it's good. Yours is all like demon now.
Demon Trump. Right now, Democrats in the Senate 38, Republicans 32.
That's
a
big.
big thing.
If we can win, that will be the biggest thing.
That's
if we
almost
can
more
win,
important than Hillary.
I'm about to say, if we can put Clinton in the White House and more Democrats in the House, we
You'll
have
get
free
things
reign,
done.
man. We have free reign in this country for 4 years. We can do whatever the hell we want.
But it's not. But see, you're right. But that's not even the way I view it. It's not even about like, oh, we get our way. It's we actually get to do something.
We get to make
no
improvements.
we get to do stuff.
Democrats 13, Republicans 11 for the House.
Wouldn't it be weird if Trump got presidency, but we the Democrats got the?
Well, I told Ari that when we got out of the car from
that'd be
dinner.
that'd be
I
a
said,
weird
here's what we
dynamic.
need is that Trump needs to get. If Trump gets elected, we need to win everything else.
In 1 minute, we'll get the results from North Carolina for governor.
Oh God.
That's a. We'll stay on the air then to have that one because that's going to be an important one there.
Oh my gosh, my little heart can't handle this.
We'll keep it on. We'll keep it on the air.
I need a defibrillator,
to find out how that's going. But yeah, that's been kind of my dilemma of what I've been dealing with lately is thinking about how to approach this with my. How
I just let time take over.
Yeah, I'll give it a couple of days after Clinton wins, and
I feel like if Trump wins, though, you can do it whenever you want.
Yeah,
because that actually will make me look really good.
Yeah. But if she does, then I agree. It's going to look like boasting.
Yeah, but I will not bring it up.
But it's so, but it's so, it's so backwards that you can't do that because that's what she did to start the whole problem.
Right,
but I don't want to be that way.
That's part of being an
admirable.
adult. That's part of being an adult.
I don't want to be that way.
People always poke you to try to get you to do stupid shit.
That's why even if I was...
Hey, and what stops you from, like, I don't know, going on a gun rampage and shooting every stupid person versus what keeps you inside and saying don't do it is your moral conscience and also the fact that you're an adult.
Yeah.
And you know that idiots will always exist.
But Trump wins. What does the next week look like? I mean, what happens after that, man? Leading up to it.
I mean, you just do what you got to do. You just keep going on.
I'm gonna lock myself in my apartment and cry.
We're a resilient nation.
You know what I'm most scared of is that someone posted a video today that said what I will do if Clinton wins.
Yeah.
And it was scenes from The Predator where Arnold Schwarzenegger was getting geared up to go fight the thing. And that's what scares me the most. It's like if Trump loses,
poll watching.
Yeah, if Trump loses, what are his supporters going to do? They're passionate people.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Did you hear about I think it was Al Qaeda saying that they were going to be targeting all the polling places in like Texas, and I think North Carolina might have been on the list for today.
For today.
I didn't think they were going to do it though. I told Audrey, I was like, they're trying to scare people into not voting because you wouldn't tell people what you're going to do if you really wanted to do it.
That was probably just
to try to sway it. And this is another thing. This should tell people more than anything. Kim Jong-un, ISIS, Al Qaeda, Putin. These are all people who endorse Trump. They want Trump. That should tell you something.
Yeah. That should be a big message for you when all those people
want him.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like, we keep hearing from the Trump supporters, this country needs a revolution, government needs to be overthrown. Do you feel like that it needs to?
It definitely needs to be corrected, but destroying it is not going to fix it.
That's why I actually kind of agree with Trump supporters when they say, well, I want someone to shake up the system.
But what do they want really, though? It's easy to say, the system's corrupt, let's shake it up. But what is their ideal country's government? How is it behaving?
Yeah.
Gays can't marry.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Women get back in the kitchen.
That's ridiculous.
White man rules.
It's absurd.
That is very absurd.
I don't know what they want. They want their guns to be protected. They want to know their guns aren't going away.
But the guns have expanded under Obama.
Yeah.
The guns aren't going anywhere.
You
can't tell them that, man.
Well, but this is what I understand. They're making up something that scares them.
They just want to.
It doesn't exist.
They just want to riot over something. They're upset at the fact of the lifestyles that they have, so they want to blame it on something like, they're trying to take our guns, or they're trying to take our jobs, or whatever other bullshit.
It's like they want to be under threat. So it's like their identity is in being oppressed so they can fight back. But no one's really oppressing them. I
probably get in trouble for this or be called an idiot for this, but I think that there's a portion of the country who honestly just wants to be ruled.
Yeah.
Well, without a doubt, yeah.
Yeah.
And, they don't, I think it's easier being ruled, right? Just being led. Like, it's easier that way. You don't have to do anything. You just follow along with what you're supposed to do.
But it could be so much better if you actually think.
Exactly. It's like schools with uniforms versus schools without uniforms. Because with uniforms, you don't have to think about what you're going to wear that day.
Right.
But then there are other days where you're like, this is not how I can express myself.
Yeah.
I don't like this solidarity.
Yeah.
But no, I think if Trump was to win, I think it would be a very authoritarian type thing.
It's going to be dangerous because he doesn't know anything.
Well, here's another thing: is that all of our dirty laundry and our secrets are out in the open for our enemies and allies to see. Mm-hmm. They now know that America, the great nation of America, is a divided nation. Yeah, and it's all out there for them to see. Yeah. All of our enemies. They know that we're not unified. No. They know that we're not strong. Right. They know that this is the opportunity. Yeah. They smell blood in the water, I think.
But I hear all these dumbasses saying like, "Oh, maybe it's time we had a businessman as president." And it's like, is losing $1 billion in 1 year
really
good businessman? Is
I would say he's more of an entertainer.
Is having to file for bankruptcy for 2 casinos a good businessman? No. I mean, this is ridiculous, this concept that he's this genius businessman. Every real businessman thinks he's horrible. Yeah. Again, there's a reason why people like Warren Buffett and Mark Cuban and Richard Branson, don't like actual billionaires, there's a reason why they think he's a fucking idiot. Yeah. It's because he's pretending. He's a faker. Yeah. He's living off of the name
Fake
Trump.
It till you make it, man.
But he's not even remotely a good businessman. He's just so fucking rich that he can fail and still be rich.
Damn.
I loved last night when he was talking about, speaking of failing, losing. He can't lose. He loves winners. Yeah. And last night during his thing, Tom Brady...
soldiers that weren't captured.
Soldiers who weren't captured.
I saw a funny thing. It was like a imaginary tweet from him. And it was like, when Jesus comes back. And he's like, "Oh, Jesus, overrated. I like messiahs that don't get crucified."
Oh,
no. He said last night, he said, "Tom Brady, so great. Voted for me. Let me know. A true winner. A true champion. Yeah. So nice. Yeah. Voted for me. I love Tom Brady. Great guy."
Uh-huh.
Giselle, listen to this guy. Whatever. What's her last name? I don't remember her last name. Tom Brady's wife or lady. She said that's not true. Oh. He definitely, I think supports him or has been vocal, but she said that it's not true that he, sent him a letter saying he voted for him. Belichick did, though. I think that has been.
Belichick did write him a letter. And then, he said Belichick wrote him a letter, and he said, "May I read this letter?" And Belichick said, "Yes, but let me send you another one." And he rewrote the letter, the one that he read, which, when Trump said, he goes, "I just knew he was going to correct it. He was going to rewrite it." Because that's what happens, right? These people, they don't... The one he sent me, better than the first one. And he started reading from it.
Hey, let's talk about something. Yeah. How do you feel about the guy who got tackled at his thing a few days ago? They said he had a gun. He didn't have a gun.
That's a piece of paper.
The assassination attempt.
Oh, when they they pushed him off the stage. Yeah. Did you see the look on his face? He looked like he shit a brick.
Yeah, but here's what annoys me about that, right? Yeah. It wasn't anything. The guy didn't have anything. The guy was just there protesting peacefully. But what annoyed me more than that was that earlier in that debate or in that rally, he was saying stuff about Hillary and everyone started chanting the whole lock her up thing. He stepped away from the podium and walked over to a flag and hugged a flag. His back was to the crowd and he was hugging a flag. And then he just let go and went back and started talking.
Why did he do that?
Well, that's the point. That I want to know about that, but nobody's talking about it because someone allegedly tried to attack him. I was annoyed. I was so annoyed that someone that whole thing happened because I was like, the story would be, why the fuck did this guy just go hug a flag?
Someone posted a photo. They did a little video thing of him hugging the flag, and then it went to the SVU opening. Dun dun.
It annoyed me. I was like, I want
another victim of sexual assault.
Why he's hugging the damn flag?
Do we have the governor's?
The internet is so over flooded right now that it will not load on my phone.
Oh, I bet it is.
Mm-hmm. So I need to get. I don't remember your Wi-Fi thing.
Oh, I couldn't even tell you now. The password's changed.
It's not the numbers anymore?
No.
Damn it.
It's like a string of freaking numbers now and letters. It's crazy. It's written on the modem, but I don't even know what that was. I had to take a picture of it with my cell phone just to remember what to put in.
Yeah.
I could. It's like 15 digits. I don't remember that. I can't remember that. That's just ridiculous. How do you supposed to remember that? That's crazy.
Right now, my Google search is the top 3 electoral polls, electoral map, electoral votes. I want to know.
I want to know. I want results now.
Hey, I want to get your opinion on this.
This is, of course.
This is somewhat politics and somewhat like social behavior.
Okay.
So when we were waiting in line, we got there was like about 30 or 40 people in front of us, and we heard this commotion. People were just going, yeah, like whatever. We're like, what's going on? But
Florida's back to a red state. I'm sorry.
Okay.
North Carolina's red. Right now, by 63-35.
It's gonna go back and forth.
Yeah.
I know.
It's gonna go back
I know.
and forth.
It's all in the pink right now. It's not in the red.
Yeah.
The only ones that are in the red are Indiana,
Surprise.
Kentucky.
It's a shocker.
West Virginia's blue. I'm just kidding. It's red.
It's been blue before.
Yeah. But so anyway, when we finally got up to it, there was a woman who was telling people to go in, and she was counting off so that the building didn't get too full. And she was like, "Oh, everybody do the wave." And she was trying to start the wave, and that's what people were yelling about. But we didn't really want to do that. We've been waiting there for 2 hours, and she's trying to just cheer people up, which was a nice refresh from the other idiot.
Voting should be an important, exciting thing.
Yeah,
right? It's what sets us apart from a lot of other countries, really.
Right. But so the little kid that I told you about, that the guy was mad at for throwing something,
who almost killed, killed this kid.
To I guess contain him, she gave him the phone, and he was playing a Ninja Turtles video game.
Cute.
So he's playing it, and we're about to go, and the woman, she's like, "Oh, there's a little kid here. He must be doing really good to be waiting this long." And the mom was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh, is he playing a video game?" And the mom was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "What is it?" And then she looked down. She's like, "What are you playing?" And he didn't say anything. And she's like, "Oh, the woman's asking what you're playing." He's like, "Oh, Ninja Turtles." And she's like, "Oh, the Ninja Turtles. That's cool. I just watched that a few days ago. Did you see the new one?" And he doesn't say anything. And the mom's like, she's asking a question. And he's like, "Oh, yeah." And she was like, what's your favorite one? And then the mom's like, "What's the favorite one?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Donatello."
That's mine too.
And so the lady's like, "What are all their names?" And he's like, "Donatello." And then he stops. And then she's like, "What are the names?" And he says the rest of the names. And then she's like, "Oh, that's cool. What's their master's name?" And I was thinking to myself, I was like, at what point do we just go, "Lady, enough"?
The kid doesn't want to talk to you.
Yeah. And I was thinking, what is, like, I obviously didn't say anything, but what would be the social responsibility? Because we all are thinking, like, God,
shut up.
Can we just go?
Just leave this kid alone.
I would answer for it's splitting. Just leave him alone, all right?
So what would you do in that situation? She just won't stop. And everyone just wants to be like, stop.
I would have been extremely annoyed.
Yes.
I would have had to have been like, "Look, man, he's a kid. His brain is washed already by technology.
Yeah.
Just leave him alone.
Yeah.
He's gonna grow up with no social skills anyway. Don't even try to help him, okay? Just leave him alone."
I'd have been like, "Are we here to vote or talk about turtles? Let's go."
Are we here to vote
Well, it got
or
me-
talk about turtles?
That's what I would say. That would annoy me so badly.
It was really annoying, but it got me thinking. I was thinking to myself.
And what's their villain's name?
Yeah, and I was thinking though. I was
What
like,
year did they air?
well, I knew
Who voiced the actors?
I knew I was going to come and ask you about it, and I knew you were going to agree with me. That's annoying.
That is annoying.
And it got me thinking. There's got to be some invention you can come up with to mitigate this whole situation. Something to let people know to just stop without it being rude, because it's rude.
I got it. It's called the mute boot.
Mute boot.
Okay, so it's like this little wind-up machine, and anytime someone annoys you, you just push a button and it kicks them.
Okay.
You say, "Shut up."
I thought you were going to have like a boot with some technology where like you click the heel and it like causes them to not want to talk.
Oh, that'd be great. Nope. Honestly, I just call it headphones. Like, I would just put headphones in, just blast some awesome music, and be like, "Bye."
Yeah, if there could be a way that you could devise a holographic cone.
A cone again.
A cylinder.
Okay.
All right, that comes over you, and it has a little message saying, "Such and such is busy at the moment. They don't want to respond. But you can still walk around in it. And
you can still see stuff.
But you can't hear anything.
I'm gonna get those hotel signs that you put on your door that says "Do not disturb."
It's almost like that, but a holographic thing. Because you can still see through it. It's playing classical music on the inside of your cylinder. And you're just kind of like standing there. But but it sends out a message on the outside of the cylinder saying this person is busy and cannot respond. So therefore, you have to stop because...
It's just it's known that you have.
It's known,
but
it's like being at the gym. You know, it's a universal sign for leave me alone. Actually, which is why I always carry them with me as headphones.
Yeah.
Because at the gym, that's kind of like.
Yeah, it's like I don't.
That's why all girls wear. I don't even think some of the girls in the gym are actually even listening to anything.
It's just like I don't.
I think they're just seeing how many guys are talking about them, so they leave the headphones on, but they put the headphones in because that is the universal sign for.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you.
But see, they come in with it on.
Yeah.
Would it be rude to activate this cone? Like someone's talking to you and just be like, "Oh yeah, answer the question." Immediately turn the cone on.
That would be hilarious because that would be extremely rude.
It would be,
but it would also be so funny to be like, "Hey," and then you hit the button and they have to go.
Yeah.
Oh my God! This guy just cut me off. Like, you know what I mean? Like that.
This guy just coned me, bro.
This guy coned me. That would be the funniest thing. That'd be the funniest thing if you see someone coming at you to say something to you. And
that'd
you
be a new term of the cone of shame.
The cone of shame.
Oh man,
that'd be so funny though. Like think about it like
cone shoulder.
Think about it like someone's coming to talk to you. You see them like eyes, and you just quickly hit the button, and they're like running at you quickly to get them what they're gonna say. But you hit the button.
You know what I would say? You know what I'd say whenever someone's annoying me? Be like, "Hey, you like ice cream?" Be like, "Well, yeah." I'd be like, "Well, cone, bitch."
But in this world where these exist, you know they exist because you don't want to. So we're in the world knowing that this is the way it is. Yeah. So would that not then become somewhat acceptable?
That could be really good for relationships too, because you could walk up to people you want to meet, right? If they don't give you the cone. Then you good. Like if you talk,
give me that cone.
If you're talking to someone you've never met before and they don't hit their little button, then you know you did all right.
Damn.
That's true. That's true.
Damn.
You know that this person, if whatever situation it is, if you meet someone and they did not give you the cone, then you know that like, hey, we can do business.
Do you think they did like people would establish like no cone zones?
No cone zones, like schools.
You can't do that.
You can't activate your cone. Yeah, well, school. Yeah, you can't. You can't use your cone in school. You can't be like the teacher says something, you just hit the button. You can't be in your cone.
No cone in driving.
Yeah, you can't use your cone while driving.
Right.
Yeah, it would just limitations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they'd have probably the same limitations as headphones would.
Yeah,
but the lady
funnier though.
But yeah, annoying. The lady
you like designer cones, so they all look the same.
You can customize your cone to match your personality.
Okay, and then that'll be like a whole industry of like cone apps.
It'd be like the MySpace of cones.
Yeah, we make like cone skins.
Yeah,
cone skins.
Like download this cone skin kit.
Cone skin kit, and you can change your cone. You can make your holographic cone look like whatever you want.
Could you change the shape so it's not a cone?
Certainly.
You know what I would name my cone?
Or a tomato.
Yeah.
I'd name my cone Conan O'Brien.
Nice. have that cone be shaped like his hair.
Conan O'Brien.
You just that hairstyle on your like, sitting on your neck.
Yeah, this lady.
She meant well, and she was nice.
Yeah, she was.
But my God, shut up.
No. Hey, at least she's a lot friendlier than the other guy.
Was she someone in line, or was she one of the old ladies handing out the?
She was really, really old, and she was really big to the point where she had to be in a scooter.
Oh no!
Oh
she had to be in a scooter.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh my God. But hey, at least she wasn't trying to kill the kid like the fat guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would take just annoyance over.
Oh, definitely. Being like somebody an asshole.
Yeah. But still, I would have been annoyed. Like it was kind of weird. Like it was so awkward because it was kind of quiet standing in that line. Like the one I was in, it was kind of quiet, and so everyone was kind of like whispering to one another. And Mom's trying to talk politics, and I just wanted to be kind of quiet because everyone else was kind of quiet and nobody was really saying anything. But she was trying to talk politics and like how stupid Trump was, and it was like, you know what, this has been established.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But I was so worried that like someone was going to hear and just freak out
and like challenge her.
Yeah. And I was like, look, I don't want to get into it with anybody because you know how I debate. And I just don't want to get into it.
It's like walking into a Mexican restaurant being like, Italian food's better.
Yeah.
Or like when this happened to me a few times where I get like McDonald's, but then someone with me goes to like Burger King. And we go through the drive-thru and I'm like holding like a bag of McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, they hate us. Even though like in reality they couldn't give a shit.
Right.
I never did care.
Sometimes, like, have you ever been in like a waiting room, like a dentist or a doctor, and someone you're with wants to talk about like food, and you're like, I don't want people here to know what kind of food I like.
Yeah. I don't want strangers knowing shit about me.
People always talk about the strangest things in the worst situations.
But have you ever like wanted to guard something that's so irrelevant?
Yes.
Like, who cares if people know what kind of food I like?
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't want them knowing unless I invite that.
Well, that was kind of like my thing in line there. I didn't want anyone knowing who I was voting for.
Right.
That's a little bit more realistic because that's obviously like a private thing.
Like, I went to the doctor's office after I'd been sick for a week and a half with a cold. Turns out I had some type of athletic asthma. And so I went and got the inhaler the same day, and it was at my mom's office, because that's where my doctor is, and I went to go visit my mom, and she's like, oh, let me give you a tour of the building and show you everyone.
Right.
Literally, every person she met, she'd be like, oh, this is my daughter, Ariana, she has asthma. I was like, stop.
Yeah.
That's not, like, the most important thing about me.
No. But it's also not like a super embarrassing thing.
Right.
It would be like if she was like, this is my daughter, she has chlamydia.
Right.
It'd be like, all right, Mom, don't do that.
Oh, man.
That's a different story.
Okay.
I was to say, what are you doing?
That's a different
She's
story.
signing. She's signing. Get off of
I
this.
think
Get off of this
I
meeting.
think she means she knows someone with chlamydia.
Rewind.
Okay.
Rewind.
I think she means she knows someone with chlamydia.
No, never.
Yeah.
Never, I would never.
No.
What?
Gross.
Gotta stay clean, man.
Gotta
Well,
stay
that's
clean.
why
You
that's
gotta
why I'm
stay-
like
you
a
gotta-
big advocate for, if you're gonna have sex, condoms are the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Just fucking do it.
That's a good slogan for condoms.
Condoms.
Just fucking do it.
Condoms, just fucking do it. I'd buy those.
Oh man, that's always the best part.
We actually filled up a bunch of condoms with blood,
I was about to say I just got interrupted, but I was going on that topic though. We did
Okay.
for filming.
and we couldn't pop them.
Well,
They're really good. They're Trojan.
They're Trojan,
Nice.
and I said to everyone on set when we were trying to pop these things, I said, "Well, this right here would be good marketing for these condoms
Yeah.
because we can't break them."
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So Japan is like super into like safe sex. They don't shy away from like sex. So like kids grow up knowing like, okay, yeah, you're gonna have sex at one
Oh,
point.
just
and
like
you should do it.
the Sweden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweden's kind of like that, but it's so accepted over in Japan that they have like condom products for kids. Like you can get like ice cream in a condom with like little like
Whoa.
characters on it, and
They are weird.
it's a bit strange, but at the same time, it's kind of like what
I would rather America do that.
I would say the pregnancy, like unintentional pregnancy, is way down over there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I guess it's because they're so.
It works.
educated.
If you're so educated about it, then most of the time you're not going to be like, well.
Yeah, but that would be kind of weird getting like condom ice cream. It'd be kind of like
Yeah.
It's better than the American methods of the P&P, the pull and pray,
yeah.
Speaking of which, we're gonna have a guest on the show next week.
Who's the
I was gonna
guest?
say, why is this? How does that segue?
Speaking of condoms, who's the
Because
guest?
next week,
No pulling out and praying.
next week we're gonna be talking about religion.
Ooh, good.
Who's the guest? Is it Jesus?
Yes,
Oh, good. Jesus is my main man.
it's Aaron, Mom's friend,
Interesting. Cool.
and he's coming on the show tomorrow.
Side note about condoms, though. Sorry, just before I forget. So, for makeup purposes, you have to use unlubricated, or else it can tamper with the blood that's inside and make it discolored and make it slimy, look unrealistic.
Okay.
And so, one time, whenever I was doing makeup, I asked a friend, I was like, hey, do you happen to have a condom? And she's like, ooh, you gonna have fun? I was like, yeah, unlubricated. Unlubricated, though. And she's like, oh, it's nice to know you're good to go. I said,
Oh,
stop.
God.
Stop. Rewind. This is full makeup. But it looks really cool. There's one scene where a girl gets stabbed in the jugular, and all you have to do is just you cut off the tip of a condom, have it filled entirely with blood, pinch it, and as soon as you pull the knife out, you just let go of the pinch, and it goes...
Nice. That's cool.
That was a cool scene.
Yeah.
She was really good in that scene. I hated doing that to her.
Rachel, oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Just gonna brag about the actors for a little bit. The 5 main girls did a freaking good job with what they did, and the guys that were also doing the sideshow parts did really good too. But Rachel, because she was the only one I really got to just face-to-face kill. whenever I was stabbing her,
Spoiler.
she was screaming, and I started getting teary-eyed because I felt like I was actually hurting her.
Right.
So that's going to be a really cool scene to watch.
Yeah.
I hated doing it to her.
Whew.
I hated doing it. She's fun and she's cute, and I hated doing it to her. I could have changed it.
They're the first ones to go.
They actually told me. That day. They're like, my DP. He says, Justin, you realize you have the power to save all these women today.
Yeah.
Why don't you do it? And I was like,
He's like, for the art.
I can't do
The
it.
art demands.
They all have
The
to
art
sacrifice.
They have to die.
And
Yeah.
Jake has some of the funniest lines
Mhm.
that he just threw in there for no reason.
I know that was funny.
Gotta watch it.
That was funny.
When's it gonna be?
Well, I'm working on it now. I'm going through the process of that. Did you really like what you saw?
Oh yeah, I saw the first 3 scenes. Really good.
Yeah.
Some of the best quality work I've seen for a startup of a film ever. Like, I'm excited to watch more.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you feel that way because I wasn't sure if you were too confident earlier today when I was explaining it.
Well, whenever you were asking me about the film, I was thinking about the doom of America. So, like, of course, I'm not going to be too confident whatever all I say.
Well, see, this is why this has been important to me because this has been able to keep my mind off of a lot of this. Is working on this picture.
And my brain doesn't do that. Whenever I have something that my brain is focused on, as soon as I start thinking about it, I'm like,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
We're artists.
Until it's resolved, I'm not thinking
We're
about
artists.
anything
We
else.
have to pour our emotions into the art.
Well, yeah.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, that's why I've been making music all day.
That's why this movie's so awesome. That's why I'm so cool.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so good at what I do. No, really, I'm really excited. I tell Ari, I've never, after I finish a movie, she knows, I have never felt good about any of them.
When he
Yeah.
finishes a film, he says, I'm not going to do a film anymore. Film is stupid. He turns like mini Trump
Yeah.
speeches. Film is dumb. I can't do it. I'm not
You
good
know
at
it,
this.
I
It's
know it,
stupid,
everybody knows
stupid.
it.
Yeah.
But at the end of this one, he was like, yeah, I think I can this movie. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to
I am
edit
very excited about
this.
this. Can I show you some scenes?
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, I do want to show you. I want you to see what you think. I'll
It's
show
just
you
the
what it is.
intro.
I'll show
It
you.
doesn't spoil anything.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't really.
Are you gonna put it up with this like a little teaser?
No.
Maybe one of the stills.
It could be a teaser.
Some stills. I put some stills out there.
Okay.
About. I'm very excited to show our audience this movie when it is done.
I want to get a still of me writing Derek.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Oh, my
okay,
God.
that'll be a
has
little-
to-
that'll be a
Are you
little
gonna make
joke.
that your profile?
Oh, heck yeah!
Yeah, totally. But yeah, next week on the show we're going to be talking religion because just to preface the conversation, here's what I want to know. Evangelicals went out for Trump hardcore, bonerific this election season, and I want to know why. I feel like Christianity, the religion, and I don't want to talk about it now because I want to save it for.
Are we solely focusing on Christianity, or are we going to talk about other ones? Because I've done studies in all of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, I want to talk about, but my main focus for next week's show is has religion lost what it's supposed to be, and that's just basically what I want to leave it with, and that's what we can talk about. So there's a teaser for what I think tomorrow. I think next week's going to be a great show. I'm very excited about next week's show.
Oh yeah.
And that's
This is a good thing to talk about because so few people want to talk about it. Because
Yeah.
it always devolves into some
and I
kind of
want
like
to
argument.
and I want to try
Well,
to
you hate Jesus.
Yeah.
You're like, oh god.
And it's like,
and I want to get it out there.
yeah, it's like I'd love to.
I've always wanted to do
in a
a
civil
show.
way.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do a show on that. So I'm very excited about that show. That's going to be next week.
All right.
We will end it up here, and we're going to go downstairs, and we're going to, like the rest of you, we're going to go bear through this thing, and
right.
we'll see how it turns out. I mean, if Clinton wins, fantastic. We'll have 4 more years of a seasoned politician. If Trump wins, I don't know what we'll have, but we'll get through it together because that's what America is, a strong country. We have been through a lot worse. We will go through a lot worse. And I think we've been through a lot worse, and we will definitely go through a lot worse. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And, things have to get worse before they get better.
That's true.
And that's the only kind words or words of wisdom I can offer you tonight on this show. So we'll go downstairs, we'll see how it goes, and next week we'll know who our next president will be when we do the show again. So we'll know for sure. But I'm Justin.
I'm Ariana.
I'm Ross.
And we will see you next week. Take care, my friends. It's going to be okay. See you.